What the duck is up, my dabblers? So on today's episode of How To Basketball for Dabblers, we'll be taking a closer look at some unique tips and tricks on how to improve your playmaking abilities. More of the intangible skills in basketball, like how to be a better passer or how to make better reads. But unlike working on different shots or adding new moves to your bag, playmaking is a skill that's a little harder to codify and improve quickly without some degree of high-level organized ball with a team in your adolescence. But have no fear, because Dabbly Ducks is here. And as someone who only started dabbling with basketball after graduating college, I'm going to give you full access into my mind during this play to break down my unique and perhaps wonky way that I view the game, and hopefully make it a little easier for you to start improving your playmaking abilities as you continue along your journey dabbling with the greatest sport on earth. So the most important tip and underlying theme of this entire deep dive is that your level of playmaking is predicated on your ability to quickly assess and act upon the following key items: spacing on the floor and player tendencies. So let's duck around and find out what we're working with here. So my guy Dunn just sent me a ball screen at the top of the key, sealing off his man and mine, arguably the top two most athletic defenders on the other team. I got my man Chris over here on the wing, guarded by June, who's somewhere back here, sagging pretty heavy since Chris ain't really that much of a shooter, respectfully. And then I got my two bigs to my right, AJ down on the block, guarded by Misha, and Will on the other wing, guarded by Max. Now, if we zoom out, this is essentially a poor man's 4-out, 1-in, if you will, which is a very common offensive set and pickup since no one wants to get rough and rowdy in the paint anymore, and everyone wants to be a shooter. So my first thought was, hey, let's feed my big down on the block and capitalize on AJ's size advantage. But I had to quickly put a pin in that since he started making his way towards me to set me another screen, which I didn't necessarily want because of my understanding of both AJ and Misha's game. This means there's essentially a 0% chance that AJ's gonna roll after setting me a screen, and essentially a 99% chance that Misha, a very good post defender, is going to aggressively hedge and try to smother me as soon as I take one step inside the arc. Now let's all take a moment to truly appreciate the IQ of my guy Dunn here, who expertly slips into the paint by taking advantage of the moving defense as they're preparing to deal with AJ's incoming ball screen. And I really wanted to hit him on this slip, but when it comes to diming, I dabble, but I don't really got it like that, not to squeeze it through that tight of a window. So I keep my dribble alive and just reset to the top of the key because sometimes you just gotta have patience to let the play develop. And that is exactly what unfolded next, beginning with the unsung hero of this play, which was Chris. I guess I must have made it really apparent that I wanted to feed Dunn, because right here you can see that Chris abandoned all hope of getting the ball. But instead of being discouraged or rolling his eyes like most dabblers do, he sets a perfectly timed pin down for Dunn, which he takes with the grace of a goddamn gazelle. Look at the angles, bro. He took that screen tighter than the compression socks strangling Chris's whole ass calf, dude. But all jokes aside, this is a really great tip for all of those who may not be the most skilled or athletic, but still love to hoop and want to contribute to getting buckets. Sure, Dunn and I get the credit for the bucket and the dime, but the play couldn't have been made without Chris's awareness to see that I wanted to target Dunn and then set him a strong off-ball pin down to allow him to get free. And all of that is what allowed me to drop him this dime on the way to the cup, which brings me to the last little detail of this play, the time of the dime. Now, some may wonder, Austin, why didn't you hit him right here? Well, that's because, like most dabblers, my non-dominant hand is complete ass when it comes to passing. But in addition to that, it once again comes back to patience. This would indeed have been a good time to hit Dunn, but in my opinion, I passed on that opportunity for a slightly better one, because by sitting on it for just a hair longer, I not only gave myself an opportunity to make a more accurate, crispy pass with my dominant hand, but was also able to use that time to make additional reads to ensure that the pass would be successful. First, I had to read how fast AJ was trailing Dunn, so I could see whether or not he was truly in the clear. Also, at this moment, Dunn's feet are at the elbow, so if he got it here, he may or may not have had to put the ball on the ground before getting to the cup, as opposed to receiving it here, closer to the basket. Less dribbles equals less opportunity to lose the ball. Second, I'm reading June's positioning on the floor. Although it's a little hard to see from this angle, I not only have the option of hitting Dunn on the face cut, but I also have a skip pass option to Chris as he flared out to the short corner after setting the pin down. And third, I had to read the tendency of my defender, John, arguably the most pound-for-pound athletic guy out here. He's typically a very aggressive, hands-in-your-face defender, but since he wasn't showing any active hands, it gave me the confidence to whip this right by his inside ear and away from the length of AJ's arms so that Dunn was able to secure the asset and drive it home. Mission accomplished. So thanks for nerding out with me, and if you like this breakdown from the perspective of an outsider to the game, please share this video with other dabblers and follow for more unique tips and tricks and all-around good vibes.